So right now we are looking at a variety of ways of measuring subsurface water. One of them is that we will be watching rainfall occurring over a specified area. We will watch how much falls, and then with our evapotranspiration imagery, we will measure how much leaves the surface of the ground that we're watching, and then making a simple calculation between what fell and what left as moisture or as evapotranspiration. We will then assume that there's a certain amount of water percolating into the surface of the ground. And one way to kind of calibrate that is to watch the surface bodies of water that are in that same area. So we've gone out and we are digitizing, we are mapping the bodies of water that are on the surface in these areas across the Sahel that we're watching right now. We're measuring them on a regular basis about what their size is, and we are going out and measuring what their depth is, so we'll have an easy, simple calculation of how much water is contained there. At the same time that we're making the calculations between what fell and what left, we're going to be matching that to the bodies of water on the surface, and all of that we hope eventually gives us a first order, probably fairly rough, probably something that we don't want to trust too much, but represents a stage of growth in trying to figure out how much water is going into the ground. And then in some areas we already have a way of measuring how much water is being used, irrigated areas. But we want to basically try to answer the question is there an excess of water going into the ground? Is there an excess of water being used compared to what's going into the surface? And then the next question is what's left there? Is it declining over time? Is it approaching a threshold of importance, of significance, that means that people are unable to assure their water security, assure their economy, assure their production? So it's a little step, it's a first step, it's not a perfect step, and from there we grow, and that will probably tell us some things that we need to change, and there may be some other, there's a GRACE satellite that has been put up that looks at the gravity, the signature of gravity over the Earth, and the major thing that changes as you go over the surface of the Earth in terms of gravity is if there's more water in the ground, the gravity reading changes. So there's maybe a moment there where we'll try to compare what the gravity satellite, which is a very coarse resolution look at the amount of water in the ground. We'll see whether that's relating well with our other measures, and we'll have a better idea of how much groundwater there is.